Selenium is one of those trace minerals that rarely gets the attention it deserves until someone develops a deficiency, and by that point, significant damage may already be underway. What makes selenium particularly interesting, and honestly somewhat concerning, is how geography and dietary choices interact to determine whether you're getting adequate amounts of this critical mineral for thyroid function and antioxidant protection. Let's start with thyroid function, because this alone makes selenium essential for healthy aging. Selenium is required for the enzymes that convert inactive thyroid hormone T4 into active T3. Without adequate selenium, your thyroid function suffers regardless of iodine status or thyroid gland health. And thyroid hormones regulate metabolism, energy production, body temperature, mood, and cognitive function. Subclinical hypothyroidism in older adults is epidemic, and selenium deficiency may be an underrecognized contributing factor. The antioxidant story is equally compelling. Selenium is a core component of glutathione peroxidase, one of your body's most important antioxidant enzymes. This enzyme protects against oxidative damage that accumulates with aging and contributes to chronic diseases. There's also emerging evidence linking adequate selenium status with reduced cancer risk, particularly for certain types like prostate cancer, though the evidence is complex and dosage matters enormously. Now here's where this gets geographically complicated. Soil selenium content varies dramatically across regions. In some areas, soil is selenium-rich, and plant foods grown there provide adequate selenium. In other regions, particularly parts of Europe, China, and New Zealand, soil selenium is depleted, and plant foods from those areas provide minimal selenium. This creates a situation where your selenium status can depend heavily on where your food was grown, information that's rarely available to consumers. This is where animal foods become particularly valuable. Animals concentrate selenium from their feed regardless of the feed's origin, meaning seafood, organ meats, and muscle meats provide more reliable selenium content across geographic regions. Brazil nuts are famously selenium-rich, but their selenium content is highly variable depending on soil conditions, making them an unreliable sole source despite what some nutritional guides suggest. For thyroid health specifically, selenium's interaction with iodine is crucial. Both are required for optimal thyroid function, and deficiency of either impairs hormone production. But there's a warning here. Excessive selenium supplementation, particularly doses over 400 micrograms daily long-term, creates its own problems, including potential increased diabetes risk and the condition called selenosis, characterized by hair loss, nail brittleness, neurological symptoms, and garlic breath. The practical approach requires knowing whether you live in a selenium-deficient region. If you're in an area with selenium-depleted soil and you're primarily eating locally grown plant foods, your risk of deficiency increases substantially. Regular consumption of seafood, particularly tuna, sardines, and shellfish, provides reliable selenium regardless of geographic location. Organ meats are also excellent sources. For those avoiding animal products or living in low selenium regions, supplementation becomes necessary, but should be done cautiously. The sweet spot for selenium intake appears to be around 100 to 200 micrograms daily for most adults. This provides adequate amounts for thyroid enzyme function and antioxidant protection without entering the range where excess becomes harmful. Testing selenium status isn't commonly done, but if you have thyroid issues or live in a known low selenium area, it might be worth requesting. What's particularly concerning about selenium deficiency is how insidious its effects can be. Fatigue, brain fog, muscle weakness, compromised immunity, they all develop gradually and get attributed to aging or stress rather than nutritional deficiency. The thyroid implications alone make selenium status worth considering seriously, particularly for women who are at higher risk for thyroid disorders and for older adults whose thyroid function may already be declining. The interaction between selenium and other nutrients also matters. Vitamin E and selenium work synergistically for antioxidant protection. Selenium status affects vitamin C utilization. These aren't isolated nutrients working in vacuum. They're part of integrated metabolic pathways, which is why whole food sources, particularly seafood and meat from animals consuming selenium-adequate feed, provide not just selenium, but the cofactors and nutrients that work together for optimal function.